Today, I'm looking at the Sony Xperia Z6. So the Xperia Z5 has just arrived, and WhatGear were in attendance at the London launch event. But anyway, let's take a look at the expected specs and concept pics of the Xperia Z6, so you can see what we hope to see. I think that made sense. So listen here real quick. We should see the new Snapdragon 820, and that is assuming that Qualcomm sorted out the overheating issues. But if not, you might be able to use your phone to fry an egg, like that scene out of Metal Gear.
1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 124.
And if you're wondering what those numbers were, that's probably going to be the new name for the new Sony Walkman. Anyway, we should expect to see this processor backed up with 4 GB of RAM and the latest Adreno GPU, which hopefully will be one of the finest graphics processing units known to man. And on the back of the phone, we hope to see a 30 megapixel camera with a likely wide-angle lens and exmor RS stacked CMOS sensor, which should be so good that you'll be able to see in the dark like Batman.
Holy crap, it's Batman!
Which will be particularly handy if you want to get a sneaky pic of Wonder Woman in the dark. And on the front of the phone, we just might see the world's first ever front-facing 8 megapixel wide-angle camera on a smartphone, and we should fully expect to see a 4K 5.5 inch or bigger screen on the Xperia X6 range. And also, this should come with the ability to record and playback in 4K at 60 frames per second, which will work wonders for Sony if they choose to push their PlayStation Now feature when promoting this device. Because I know if I could play PS4 games in full resolution at 60 frames per second, I would say,
Wow. Wow.
that's right Kaz, wow. Anyway, the Z6 will most likely have 4000 mAh fixed battery and a robust casing that makes it dust and watertight whilst maintaining its elegance. And with that said, that brings me on to fingerprints. Now the Z5 Premium is a fingerprint magnet, but the one good thing is it has a fingerprint sensor, which is great. But when you're leaving so many fingerprints on the device, and if you leave it lying around, someone might be able to copy your fingerprints and unlock your phone with the fingerprint sensor. And we can fully expect the Z6 to have the same fingerprint sensor, but hopefully not the super high gloss finish. So anyway, it's time to move on to my favourite section, taking the leak. So I heard that this phone could possibly have 2 rear cameras, which means 3D photos, extreme wide angle shots, maybe the possibility to scan your retina and read your mind like Professor X. And these 2 cameras will be particularly handy if you're a two-headed, two-faced monster and you want to take a selfie.
Here comes the thunder.
And also, I'm still hopeful that Sony will pull solar panels out of the bag, because Sony really need a
payload to deliver to the heart of our nearest star. That star is dying.
And my final word on the street is that I heard that this phone could be Sony's last charge at the Americans' freight train of an Apple car full of smartphones. But let's hope not. But whatever happens, Sony already seem to have their fingers in the apple pie, with the current iPhones using Sony sensors. Let's just hope they don't mess them up.
Drip? It's not what it looks like.
But that topic is for another video. So anyway, thanks for watching WhatGear Reviews. I really appreciate your support. And if you haven't already, head over to whatgear.net, check out what we're doing over there. We got some amazing prizes to give away very, very soon. And check us out on Instagram.com/WhatGear. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Don't be late.